Well, I have one or two Blitz games tonight, so pretty hot here in the UK. I wonder how many people are online, how many total players at the moment. 134 total players? Blimey, 134. Cool. Okay, so Galaad, have we got sound? I seem to have turned it off. Hopefully sound is back. Yep. So Galaad, let's play King's Engine or something. Okay. Okay, mainline. Play this again. Sometimes the attack just plays itself. Right, so F5. The old F5 in the pawn storm. And then rolling the knights. I think I'll take first on G3. Try and get this F4 square. Like H5, H4. Try and weaken F4 if I get in H4 now. So I can play takes and then knight F4. So notice the timing on that. I played H5 immediately just to try and get H4 to weaken F4. Otherwise, if White had a grip on that, then that would be unpleasant. I'm taking with this pawn to get this square, big square. So now I'm threatening things like G4 and F3. If I play G4 here, bishop takes E5 maybe. F3 is not going to be that effective. Where is that rubbish? G4, bishop E5, bishop E5 takes F3, bishop F3. Right, I could continue building up maybe. Maybe A6. Stop knight B5, so bishop D7, queen F6. Maybe double up rooks, something like that. Yeah, please. So G4 here, bishop E5. Okay, so rook at F7. I'm gonna get mated. Oh, there. Okay. Now I'll let the check happen on H7. But that's a bit inconvenient. So if Queen H7, King F8. Okay. To get this queen over here. So Queen H7, King F8, G4 and F3, or just, I don't know if G4 is right here. I could sack the exchange of Rook F8. It looks as though it's tearing into the white king position. I think I'm going to go for it. Let's try and rip this king side up with an exchange sack. So F3, bishop F3, Rook F3, Rook F8. Then after that, maybe something like Rook F4, to try and regain G4, get into these dark squares maybe. I'm hoping this is just tearing open the lines. So we didn't go for that queen invasion. So, FG F3, bishop F3, Rook F3, King F3, Rook F8, King moves. I think Rook F4. Okay, none of that's relevant now. Is G3 useful? Getting onto the dark squares. Or G takes. Or in Queen G5 takes F3 check. Maybe that way's better. Queen G5. If the king moves, say, to F1. What's the merits of G3 here? Does it close up the attack? I think Queen G5, to give bishop D4. I'm going to play this. Queen G5. So stuff like, bishop D4 becomes possible. I'm hoping this is harmless. Queen H7 still. So why didn't he do it the first time anyway? Right, there's a double check there. King F3 after the double check. And then what happens? Queen G3. He just takes bishop E5 with a raging attack, maybe. Possibly. I think I'm going to go for that. Let's go for this. So I'm sacking pawn. I'm hoping to get my rooks going, and bishop E5, hoping that's strong. So bishop E5 and King G7 and Rook H8. Let's get my bishops and rooks working here. Looks to be a great bishop. Okay, so rook G7 maybe. Get my other rook in to F8. Was there anything stronger here? Bishop G3, Bishop D4. Can't see it. I'm going to disconnect his rooks anyway. So hopefully that's pretty good. I can get maybe rook down to the 7th now. Get the other one to the 7th and threaten Bishop C3 and rook E2. Any other major threats here? In fact, maybe he's going to play King D2 but then check if he wants to try and get rook G1 in. So this bishop's doing a good job here. I got some strong pressure, I believe. I'm hoping this is not going to be soaked up in some resourceful way. So 3-5, just pawn out, check. Okay, is he going to soak up the pressure with this move? Bishop G3, King D1, say. Rook F1, Bishop F1, Rook G1. King can go back to E2. If I just take, if it takes then Rook B2. So if he takes for the king, maybe Bishop H3. King E1, Bishop G3. I think I better move. I don't know. I think, unfortunately, there is a simplification happening here, but I don't want to get too far down on the clock. So I'm going to have to go with, I think, Bishop H3. King moves, and then think about it after. There's nothing too drastic here as that. So King E1. Maybe the bishop can weave in Bishop F4 to E3 to threaten Rook G1. So that will stop the king coming to D2. Okay, maybe here's a good time. Or Bishop D4, threatening Rook G1. That's even better. Stops Knight F2, threatening Rook G1 mate. If King E1, Rook G1, this looks pretty good. Is Galaad going down here? By the way, I don't know if any of you have tried this this cold drink combination. Well, with difference. If you throw up, don't blame me. You get Greek yogurt. You add water to it. You add a bit of mint and maybe a bit of salt. Have you tried that? I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, so check King D2 is escaping. So let's think. Am I in trouble? Okay, maybe I am. I'll do a waiting move for a sec. Okay, there's still a bit of pressure. If King D2, Bishop G4, for example. So maybe that's not so silly, that waiting move. But how can I improve the position here? Maybe B6, just to still C5. So I'm hoping for some sort of concession. If B6 here, is he going to play a bishop move now? Get the king out. Okay, I'll pin that. I'm hoping that was a mistake. What he's just played, or could he just move the king back now? Yeah, okay, so I'll move back here and then try something else. We saw this queen side up. Okay, get the king up, get the king off the light squares. I'll pin that one instead. Maybe Bishop G4 as a threat. So I'm hoping a bit of time pressure could help here, the cause. So I've got good compensation for being a pawn down. Bishop G4's an ominous threat. If Rook D2, then there's Bishop E3 here. Okay, nope. I'm try and win on time or something. Rook G1. Okay, I'm stopping Rook G2. Let's bring the king up to E5. It might be useful. Okay, is he playing for C5? That's going to be hard to manage. If I get the king to F3, then I'm threatening all sorts of things. Let's weaken this to get that pin on G1. This is getting a bit tense now. Okay, knight D3, maybe king takes E4. At least I've gained a pawn. I'm threatening maybe Rook B2 if he's not careful, like here. And then Rook D2, winning the Rook. Okay, cool. I think it's all over. Bother showing. Wow, that was a bit of a tense game there. 2250, just 20 points away from my rank at the moment. The King's Engine, main line. What happened? So I took here. I want to try and undermine F4. So I played for a quick H5 H4 here. Undermine F4. Got the E5 square. Some positional trump cards emerging. For some reason, they didn't go in for the Queen H7. It gave me this potentially dangerous bishop on G7. He didn't accept this potential for me playing F3. Instead, we got this the Queen's off. And it seemed to be a strong initiative for the pawn, and time pressure and other things. Finally, there was a blunder later on to win a piece. Comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks very much.